Welcome to part 1 of Morte Arthur. I'm just going to be reading through it, maybe a chapter at a time, maybe 2. I haven't really decided yet. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Chapter 1. How Uther Pendragon sent for the Duke of Cornwall and Igraine his wife, and of their departing suddenly again. It befell in the days of Uther Pendragon, when he was king of all of England, and so reigned that there was a mighty duke in Cornwall that held war against him a long time. And that duke was called the Duke of Tintagil, and so by means King Uther sent for this duke, charging him to bring his wife with him, for she was called a fair lady, and a passing wise, and her name was called Igraine. So when the duke and his wife were come unto the king, by the means of great lords they were accorded both. The king liked and loved this lady well, and he made them great cheer out of measure, and desired to have been lain by her. But she was a passing good woman, and would not assent unto the king. And then she told the duke her husband, and said, I suppose that we were sent for that I should be dishonoured. Wherefore, husband, I counsel you, that we depart from hence suddenly, that we may ride all night unto our own castle. And in likewise as she said, they departed, that neither the king nor none of his council were ware of their departing. And so soon as King Uther knew of their departing, so suddenly, he was wonderly wroth. Then he called to him his privy council, and told them of the sudden departing of the duke and his wife. Then they advised the king to send for the duke and his wife by a great charge, and if he will not come at your summons, then may ye do your best. Then have ye cause to make mighty war upon him. So that was done, and the messengers had their answers, and that was shortly this, that neither he nor his wife would come at him. Then was the king wonderfully wroth, and then the king sent him plain word again, and bade him be ready, and stuff and garnish him, for within 40 days he would fetch him out of the biggest castle that he hath. When the duke had this warning anon, he went and furnished and garnished 2 strong castles of his, of which the one hight Tintagil, and the other castle hit Tarabil. So his wife, Dame Igraine, was put in the castle of Tintagil, and he himself put in the castle of Tarabil, that which had many issues and posterns out. Then in all haste came Uther, with a great host, and laid siege about the castle of Tarabil. And there he pight many pavilions, and there was a great war made on both parties, and many people slain. Then for pure anger and for great love of fair Igraine, the king Uther fell sick. So came to the king Uther Sir Ulfius, a noble knight, and he asked the king why. Why was he so sick? I shall tell thee, said the king. I am sick for anger and for love of fair Igraine, that I may not be whole. Well, my lord, said Ulfius, I shall seek Merlin, and he shall do you remedy, that your heart shall be pleased. So Ulfius departed, and by adventure he met Merlin in beggar's array. And there Merlin asked Ulfius whom he sought, and he said that he had little ado to tell him. Well, said Merlin, I know whom thou seek, for thou seekest Merlin, therefore seek no further, for I am he, and if King Uther will reward me, and be sworn upon me to fulfill my desire, then shall be his honour and profit more than mine, for I shall cause him to have all of his desires. All this will I undertake, said Ulfius, that there shall be nothing reasonable but thou shalt have thy desire. Well, said Merlin, he shall have his intent and desire, and therefore, said Merlin, ride on your way, for I will not be long behind. And that concludes Chapter 1 of Morte Arthur. I hope you enjoyed, and I guess you can expect these videos pretty frequently, because these chapters are relatively short and they're really fun to read through. Alright, catch you later, stay safe.